What's up everyone, I'm Joshua Botha from Zima Media and this is Ask a Marketer. So now I'm going to be taking you through how to actually install Plausible on your website. If you do have a WordPress site, this is very simplified because they do have a WordPress plugin. But if you'd like to install it on a different CMS or otherwise a custom built website, you can also do this by using the manual installation method. So if you click on the button at the bottom over there, then you will be greeted by this screen over here, which will then allow you to copy the code that you need to install inside of the head tag on your website. If you would like to add in some optional measurements, then you will just need to tick them off over here, and this will then be added to the code itself. So as you can see over here, if I click on one of these, it will actually adjust the code as you then tick the boxes. So taking a look at a few of these, we have, for instance, outbound clicks, which will track if someone clicks on a link that goes outside of your website. So for instance, this could be inside of a blog article or anything along those lines, but overall it is good to have this ticked and track it. Then if you have any files on your website that you'd like to track when someone downloads them, you can also click on this. But overall, if you do take a look at each of these buttons, then you will also find a learn more information icon right next to it, and you are then welcome to go ahead and read a bit more about that. So heading back into here, we have a few of them ticked off for our website specifically, such as the e-commerce revenue or otherwise the custom properties. And the most important one for us is the custom events, because this allows us to actually track certain types of events, such as certain page views or otherwise if we have a form submission on our website, we'd also like to call back a API that will then trigger this inside of your Plausible. So seeing as we have a WordPress website, I'm going to be going back into the WordPress installation menu. And here I would just like to touch on how to actually install the plugin on your website. So heading into our website, as you can see, I already do have it installed, but I'm going to just be going through a few things or the actual installation with you as well. So if you head into your plugins over here, you can then go ahead and click on add a new plugin. You can then type in Plausible over here in the top search menu, and you will find the plugin right there, and you can also go through all of this on the documentation that they have provided. But overall, it is a very simple process of installing the plugin, adding in your website and your time zone, and then adding the plugin itself to the website. So once you have then clicked on install, which is not active for me seeing as I already have it installed, you will then be asked to activate it. Once you've activated it, it will be live and should take you to the plugin, or otherwise you can find it underneath the settings over here. And then let me just move myself out of the way. Then under the settings over here at the total bottom, you will have Plausible Analytics, and then it will take you to a menu similar to this. So overall in the settings, it is once again very simplified. You can click on create a token and you just have to add in your domain name. So overall, they do use the domain name to actually identify which account essentially you are trying to send events back to, for instance. And then the plugin token, as I mentioned, you can click on create token. It will open up this pop-up menu already inside of your Plausible account, and then you can just add the plugin over here, the plugin token, but be sure to actually copy it so that we can then add it back into the plugin itself. I do already have one of these, so I'm not going to be adding another one. But overall, it is once you've then added in this plugin token, you can click on next or connect, and this will then add or link your Plausible account to the website itself through the plugin that you've installed. With regards to the settings that you're going to be adding into your Plausible account, for instance, inside of the plugin, you can once again go through the 404 error pages or the outbound links and just tick off any of these that you'd like to add to your website. As I mentioned, the one that's most important for us is the custom events, seeing as this allows us to track additional events that we'd like to set up on the website. If you do have WooCommerce installed on your website, it is also highly recommended to then install the e-commerce revenue, as they will then add in a whole bunch of additional events such as add to cart, remove from cart, start checkout, and complete purchase automatically, and there's no need for further custom events set up for those specific actions then. Heading down, you will also notice that they have this bypass ad blockers. I highly recommend adding this because this will allow you to actually, they will then install it on your website itself using your domain, and this will then circumvent certain types of ad blockers. So overall, ad blockers are a thing that mess around with a lot of traffic and it is important to have them installed if a person is browsing a lot. And you don't want to get annoyed by all the ads that show up on the different websites, but it is also good to have add this for your tracking softwares so that you can then bypass these ad blockers and not get blocked by them, essentially. So moving on from there, we do have a few other settings that we can also adjust. I don't have this installed or active on our website, so this allows you to then view the stats inside of your WordPress. So there's no need to actually go into Plausible to go and view your analytics. But overall for us, we prefer not to have this active on our website because this can also slow down your website if you have custom dashboards and so on added. Then for the exclude specific pages from being tracked section, if you have specific pages that you don't want to be added in your analytics on Plausible, you're going to have to add it in here. So you can either include the entire web URL in here and then continue from there, or you can add in, for instance, all the services pages. If I would like to do that, I can do this and then add an asterisk after that. And this will then look for any URLs that have this specific page path, and anything after that included in the URL. So if I had to take a look at our website, for instance, if I go to the services, the SEO services page over here, we have services and then we have SEO management after that. By using the asterisk, there you go, you will then be able to block out all pages that have anything after the services as well. So this is just to ensure, or this is a simplified way of then adding more pages. For instance, if you'd like to block the entire blog page or in your entire blog, then you can also do the same for the blog itself. If you remove the asterisk, then you'll actually end up just removing the blog page and not all the blog posts that come after that. Then moving on from there, we have the track analytics for user roles. So overall, automatically, it has none of these active, and this means that if you are actually logged into your website, so for instance, if I go into our website over here, then you will notice that I am currently logged in, and therefore I'm not being tracked by Plausible. If I activate any of these buttons over here, for instance, for administrators, authors, contributors, or anything along those lines, it will then start tracking those specific roles inside of your Google or on your site as well. Seeing as I'm an administrator, if I, for instance, click on the administrator button, it will track all of my events, including or overall, and this is not something I want because I don't want to end up tracking myself and my team members, so we keep this off. Then we also have the show stats for additional user roles, and this is once again added, or most of the time not active, but I do have it active for the administrator, as this is actually not something that we can trigger. I can add all the rest of them, but we don't have that at the moment. But overall, as you can read over here as well, it will then add in the stats to your dashboard, only available to logged in administrators. Then the final thing that we have over here is the disable menu in toolbar, which is essentially this menu over here. So if I once again go to our website, then you'll notice that we have the Plausible Analytics over here at the top. If you click to remove this, disable this toolbar menu, then the button will no longer be there. And this is overall just up to preference. If you'd like to have it removed, you're more than welcome to do so. All right, so now that we have installed Plausible on the website itself, we will have to go back into Plausible and just verify it. As you can see, it will then go and double check that it sees the code on your website. And I can then continue with the setup from there. So overall, it has been a success and it is installed on our website as we already have the plugin active. And then I do have some statistics already on the dashboards themselves, but overall for you, this should be completely blank. So the next thing that we're going to be touching on is the events themselves. If you'd like to have specific events tracked on your website, such as if someone views your contact page or your services pages, or for instance, if you have an e-commerce website, if they view one of your product pages, then you can do this by heading into the settings, which you can do by clicking on your domain over here at the top right, or top left, sorry about that, and then clicking on the site settings. Over here, you can navigate to goals, and then you can add in your custom goals over here, which is why we need to add the custom goals in the installation itself, so that we can then later on do this setup. So there should be a few of them already, such as the 404, which is already a custom event. But if you'd like to track additional ones, then you can simply click on add goal and then choose whether it's going to be a custom event or whether it's going to be a page view. So if it's a page view, they should give you a drop-down of certain options. But overall, say for instance, I'd like to once again track if anyone goes to our blog, then I can add in blog/*, and then this will end up tracking if anyone goes to any of the blog pages on our website, or if I just want to track that someone goes to the blog menu, the blog archive essentially, then you can use the blog / instead. Overall, I would like to track, for instance, the contact page. So I'm going to be adding in contact over here, and then you can use or create your own name for it. So as you can see with the one that I have over here, I have contact page views just to make it very simple for me to understand what event this is. When it comes to tracking the things such as your contact form, this is slightly more challenging, but overall it will require you to go into the website and add a small custom snippet. For our website, we do use Gravity Forms, so I will quickly show you how I then went ahead and added this. So for instance, if I go into our forms over here, I do then have, and then head into the settings of the specific form, I have the confirmations. So in the confirmation, this is the message that is displayed after you submit a form. And in here, you can also add additional custom snippets that, or code snippets that will then push certain events or anything along those lines. So for instance, for the Plausible contact form event that I'd like to track, I do have this small script over here, which is then with the function that they create, which is simply Plausible and then followed by open and close bracket. And inside of that, you just need to specify the event that you'd like to track. So for this specific event, it's contact form, and this will then send contact form back to your Plausible account. Overall, there is a lot of things that you can do with this simply by adding in this small little custom snippet, but you can then find more information about this by going into their goals section over here, and they will explain a bit more about it. If you'd like to, for instance, do custom properties, let me know, custom goal, event goals, then if you scroll to the total bottom, they have this section on triggering it manually with a JavaScript function, and this will then explain to you how to use this little function that they've created. There's no need to install this snippet on the website again, seeing as it's already installed through your WordPress plugin, or you've installed it when you install the tool itself on the website. So there's no need to add it again, but you can then start calling the function on any of your pages, along with any of your buttons or anything along those lines. Heading back into the Plausible account, there's only one more thing that I wanted to quickly show you, which is the integrations. So in here, you can link your Google account to the integrations or to the tool itself, and then you can link this to your Search Console. So this will then allow you to add a few additional things such as clicks, which keywords and those types of things were actually clicked to get to your website. So it's best to then add in this link or this integration so that you can start tracking these additional things. Apart from that, you can also head over to host names and just verify the actual host name of your website. And first of all, it will allow anything from the get-go. So anyone that is using your code can then send it back to your website or back to your Plausible account. But I prefer to actually add in a host name so that you don't end up getting someone else sending data to your Plausible account and messing with your tracking. So for the host name, you can simply click on the host name over here. If you already have specified your domain, then they will already have this added in over here. You can simply copy and paste that in there, and then you'll be able to receive data from your domain and any subdomains that you have on the website as well. So this is definitely the best practice, and I do suggest rather doing it this way. And that's basically it. Apart from that, you can then just take a look at a few of the dashboards that they have in here. So they'll be showing you interesting things such as the devices and the browsers that were then used. You can look at the browser, the operating system, such as whether it was Windows, Mac, iOS, or Android. And then it also shows you which device itself, such as is it a desktop or versus mobile. You do also have the locations over here on the left hand side, your goals and your goal conversions are at the total bottom. You can also click on the properties and then view specific things about the goals that you've set up, but I'm not going to be touching on that right now. And then finally you have the overall dashboard at the top over here, which will show you a chart that you're welcome to then follow. And you can then also adjust whether you'd like to see like the date range that you'd like to see, and then if you'd like to compare it to the previous period or the previous year or anything along those lines. The last thing that I wanted to mention over here is the top sources and top pages. Here you can once again view all the pages, or the pages that get the most traffic versus the pages that get the most entry traffic, and then the pages that get the most exit traffic. This is a great feature to add to the plugin or to the tool, seeing as you can see which pages receive the most traffic from the get-go, which pages are visited the most or visited the most overall, and then the pages that most people leave the website from. Then with regards to the top sources, you do also have the UTM medium or the UTM source, for instance over here, or otherwise the UTM medium, which will then allow you to break down the traffic that you are receiving from the different sources and mediums. And if you click on all, this will show you an overall 52 users, for instance, came from Google and 29 from direct, and then we have the other sources that they came from. And that's basically it from me. So I hope this was helpful, and if you have any questions, then please do go ahead and add it into the comment section. Have a fantastic day. Bye.